Hola, welcome to Bello Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. I have a very interesting book to share with you today. We are going to do a book look on A Crochet World of Creepy Creatures and Cryptids by Ricky Gustafson. So I've seen this book on some different channels, and I have like an Amazon wish list that I make for myself and for my family, right? If they want to get things like yarn related for me, crochet related, because they're like, well, I don't know what you want, so here, just buy what you want. And for my birthday, I had gotten some money from family, and this was one of the things that I bought for myself. So, and if you're interested, because somebody will always ask now that I've mentioned it, my Amazon wish list is in the description box. There is a link tree in my description box that has links to Facebook, Instagram. It has my email. It has my Amazon wish list, all of those things. I put it on my channel because we were doing like some sort of yarny gift swap exchange thing, and everyone needed to make an Amazon wish list so that people could pick off of there. So I already had a wish list with yarny stuff on it, and I just shared that because it was supposed to be a surprise, right? Whatever you got. So it's always there. I just rarely mention it. But since I did say something about getting this off of my own wish list, someone is going to ask me about it. It's inevitable. They always do. So I'm just going to tell you now. But I'd seen this, and I love all sorts of mythological creatures, and I have wanted this for a while. So I thought we would look at it together, and eventually I will do a Label My Library on it. Honestly, I'm probably going to record it right after this video. They won't air back to back, but I'm probably going to record it right after, because as I'm looking through it, I'm going to be like, ooh, 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 and then I'm going to pick stuff out. Just being honest. Okay, so this says it has 40 amigurumi patterns for adorable monsters, mythical beings, and more. So let's see how this is set up. Okay, so on the table of contents, you have cryptids, man-eaters, creatures of the deep, forest dwellers, mischief makers, and winged beasts. So there are multiple sections, which is neat. I like it when there are sections that I can just be like, oh, I can look and be like, oh, I want to look at these, right? Instead of some books, even like Stitch books, they don't have, they're not divided into sections, and that can sometimes make it confusing and a little overwhelming to go through. But books that have the sections like this, even if they would have divided them by beginning, intermediate, and advanced, however you divide them, just by dividing them, right, you make the book more user-friendly. So then there's an introduction, some techniques. It does talk about tension, which is nice, because I crochet very, very tightly, and some people do not. So that makes a difference in like your hook size. It also says they're talking about like blanket yarns, jumbo yarns, and things like that. And it does say in here, because this is a question I get asked often when I'm doing my crochet classes, does it matter what size yarn you're using when you're making like amigurumi? What about the pattern? And I have yarn on my nose. the pattern is the pattern when it comes to amigurumi. You use bigger yarn, your item is going to be bigger. You use smaller yarn, your item is going to be smaller. The pattern is the same. It's not like a shawl or a wearable of some sort where, or sometimes even a blanket, depending on if you want it to be the same size, you need to adjust your counts. You don't have to do that with amigurumi. It will just be a bigger item, right? That's really all. All right, so now we're getting into cryptids. This is the first section. And I don't know how to say this. I know what it is. I've seen it, but I'm not going to pretend. It's Cthulhu. I don't know. But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Cover up the pattern. You see? And then now these do not have a level rating. So these don't say if they're beginner, intermediate, or advanced patterns. Let's see if it says in the introduction. No, she doesn't say. No, she doesn't say that she designed them to be easy patterns, or she does say that it was complicated to make them from the images that she found, because there are like excuse me, images in the back of the book for how things look, like the images for reference. And then there's the Nessie, Loch Ness Monster. There's a nice picture, a nice full picture here without the pattern. See if I can get it. It's hard to see because I'm trying to show you and then I can't see in the computer. So that's cute. And it says, so looks like most of these are done with a 4mm crochet hook and worsted weight yarn. Mothman. This is Mothman. Ooh, wrong way. I'm looking at my computer so I can see what I'm showing you. And then the Chupacabra. It's another cute little picture. Trying to not show you the pattern. There we go. And this is done in a really light green. But yeah. A jackalope. There is another book that I have that has a jackalope in it. It's a little bit more whimsical. I'm so sorry. But this one's still cute. And all of these don't look to be incredibly large. Ooh, a sandworm. Let me see. There we go. And then we're getting into the man-eaters. So this is cute. Werewolf. Ooh. I would probably avoid this one just because of the having to brush out the yarn. Do not want to brush out the yarn. There we go. Ugh, I will not make this one. It's a zombie. I don't like zombies. I don't do scary movies. I don't do horror, like, as a genre. I don't like to be scared. Yes, it's an adrenaline rush because it is for anyone, but it's not a good feeling for me. So I don't watch scary movies if I can help it. This is Slender Man. Nosferatu, which is a vampire, a German vampire. Okay. A German vampire. And the Minotaur. So I showed you this one already. That was the front. Cyclops. Now this one would be interesting. I taught, when I taught high school English, I taught 9th grade for a long time, and we would read parts of the Odyssey, not the whole thing. But we would read parts of the Odyssey. And now, living in Sicily, there is a place not too far from me that's actually where they say the Cyclops were from, because there used to be big elephants that lived here, believe it or not, and they had, the tusks and the long nose, as they do. But when people were finding the skulls of these animals, they didn't realize that they were animal skulls, and the big hole in the front where the trunk would go, they thought that was a one-eyed human skull. So they called it a Cyclops. And like I said, not too far from where I am is where it's rumored that when Odysseus was coming along his journey to get back to Ithaca, and he stopped at the island where the Cyclops was, that was Sicily, and that was, 30 minutes up the road from me. I haven't been, but I've heard it's very interesting. They have a whole tour that you can go on and things like that. So maybe one day I'll get there. Maybe I'll share it with you all, but I think it's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is a manticore. This is the next one. Not necessarily doing a great job of showing you the pictures. I'm sorry. I don't like to bend the spine of the book if I can help it. And then Creatures of the Deep. Whew, that one's a little scary. This is the Kraken. Now, this is a very teeny tiny Kraken. I know that Crafty Intentions has a huge, intricate Kraken pattern. Several people have made that before, but this is just a teeny tiny one. But it's so cute. And that was her goal. I say she. I don't know. Let me look. Is there an author page back here? Yes. She, in the introduction, made it a point to say that she worked really hard to make sure these were, while not necessarily cute, they were interesting and fun to make. So this is a mermaid. And these are fun because, I mean, with any of them you can mix and match the colors, but with this specifically you could do some interesting things with the hair and the little outfit. This is a Kelpie. Oh, my daughter would love that. She would absolutely love it. She loves horses, and she loves mermaids and all those kinds of things. A Grindalo. Now this was the one. Here, I'm going to show you the picture because this was the one that was on the front of this chapter. This is the Grindalo. I can't take it seriously because it's so tiny. But it would be, I mean, in real life, if it existed, to see it, I would probably be very scared. Oh, excuse me. My power went out like 3 times last night, and I was up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to get back on, so forgive me. This is a Kappa. This is a Kaiju. I'm gonna assume that's how you say it. I don't speak Japanese. I know this creature from teaching mythology, but I don't ever know if I say it correctly. I'm assuming it's Kaiju. I'm assuming. But it's Japanese mythology. I miss teaching mythology. I definitely do. Forest dwellers. This is the next one. This is Bigfoot. Again, just from brushing the yarn. Or maybe, is this made with... I don't know. Oh, this is used with, like, blanket yarn, I guess. I was going to say, I don't like blanket yarn because it's hard to see my stitches. And because I crochet so tightly, I tend to rip it apart. So it doesn't do me any good. But I thought you were brushing this, and I would not make this if I had to brush it. But there are some cute, like, teddy bear style yarns that you could use with that. This is the gnome. I'll show you a better picture. That's because this was on the front of the Forest Dwellers. So this is the gnome. And there are lots of gnome books, but I do appreciate that this one doesn't have you brush the beard. Ooh, a centaur. I like that one. Centaur. Chimera. Ooh, I like the way that looks. I like the way that looks, the chimera. Got all the little creatures on it. This is gonna say Leshy. Again, I've taught about it, I've read about it, but it's not something that I know how to pronounce. This is a Slavic mythological creature. A Jersey Devil. Let me see if there's a different picture. Oh, okay. So we have to go this way this time. Mischief Makers. So I'm gonna say that this is the, let me see, let me go through here and see. trying to find, okay, so this is called the Grays. This is one of the last patterns in the book, but it has a really good picture here at the beginning of the chapter. So I'm going to show you that one. And when I get to it in the book, I'll tell you that was the one I showed you at the beginning. So they have a Medusa. This is one of the reasons why I bought the book. Medusa. A fairy. A little fairy. A Krampus. This was another one that I saw that somebody showed and I liked it when they were showing the book. A Kitsune or Kitsune. Again, Japanese mythology. A goblin. Oh. A goblin. Again, this is not one, the way that it's crocheted, I wouldn't be able to take it seriously if this is what it looked like in real life. This one, maybe. It's the boogeyman. Although it's a little ball. Frankenstein's monster, which I can appreciate that it's not called Frankenstein because Frankenstein was the doctor, not the monster. So. And then this is the one where it was the Grays. And then a sci-fi robot. This kind of looks like the zombie pattern redone, which I'm not knocking it. It works. But it reminds me of the zombie from the beginning of the book. And then winged beasts. So this is a good picture, right, of a phoenix. It's very cute. Very cute. Have a little dragon. A griffin. That's so adorable. And then there's the phoenix. And then a harpy. That's felt. The wings are felt, which is cute. And a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. If you grew up with that song, you know. I think that's the last one. Nope, I lied. Gargoyle is the last one. Yeah. It's a gargoyle. And it kind of reminds me of the dragon pattern, but just a little bit more to it. Which, again, not a problem. And then there's the acknowledgement, the about the author. So that is the book look. That was all 40 patterns. And I love most of them. I knew that there were going to be some that I didn't care for, just because, like I said, I'm not into horror movies and scary stuff. But that's okay, right? There are enough patterns in this book that I really, really wanted. That's why I bought the book. So let me know what you think. Do you have this book? Is this a book that's on your list? Are you going to put it on your list now that you've seen it? Do you want to, if you have the book, what would you want to make out of it? And now that you've seen everything, if you don't have the book, what would you make? Right? Lots of questions, but I like to ask them so that we can interact in the comments, because I like sharing this stuff with you, but I am just talking to myself. So the information that you put in the comments helps us have a conversation, right? So if I don't ask the questions, then you'll just be like, oh, that's nice. And sometimes that's it. But anyway, I'm going to let you all go. I've been chatting with you for over 20 minutes. And there will be a Label My Library on this book at some point. But until then, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!